State Senator Tracy Potter. We're on Highway 21 in western North Dakota. On my way to do some courthouse chats today in Carson, Mott, and Hettinger. Probably can't get to the Grillside for this fifth in our series of Grillside chats. Today's topic is public service and private interest. Because what we've learned is that the governor and the lieutenant governor, both, and they're relevant because the governor's running for the U.S. Senate against me. If he's elected, then he goes to the Senate, and the lieutenant governor becomes governor. So their private holdings became a matter of some interest. These two gentlemen were both born millionaires. Once you get the first one, it's easier to get more, and they've done very well in their lives as businessmen. The governor has continued to be a businessman while governor. He formed a new bank in Edina, Minnesota while governor. He owns a company called Northwest Respiratory Services, which does business with the state of North Dakota. And that's where this rub comes in. I don't believe that the governor influences the decisions of state government to buy from Northwest Respiratory. I think they're probably a fine company. But when the governor of the state has a company that does business with the state, it just smacks of impropriety. It has the appearance of impropriety. And that is the reason that we have legislation to prevent conflicts of interest. Well, I've looked at the U.S. rules of the Senate rules, and actually the governor he says that he will maintain this interest even when he goes to the U.S. Senate. It seemed inappropriate to me, again, because he's been promised a seat on the Appropriations Committee, something we talked about in another YouTube minute. And on the Appropriations Committee, he would be voting on how much money is allocated for Medicaid services, for the Veterans Administration, both of which do business with his company. It just smacks of impropriety. But in terms of the Senate rules, it's actually allowed, because the U.S. Senate says that if you're an LLC corporation, you can do that, even though he's a 45% owner. But if you're an LLP, you couldn't. That is, if you're a partnership, it would be illegal. But if you're a corporation, it is legal. Well, I don't care if it's legal or illegal, although I would introduce legislation to make it illegal. But the fact is, it's just wrong. And we should know that when we're doing public service, that we let our private interests rest. The governor of North Dakota, former Governor Bud Center, told me that he had done exactly that when he became governor. He sold his bonds, kind of took a beating in the market when it happened. But he did it because he didn't want to have any appearance of impropriety. So I believe that if you're in public service, you should let your millions rest. That is, put them in a blind trust so that you don't know whether the actions that you're taking in the Senate are going to affect that. This is just simple common sense to me. I've already asked for legislation to be drafted at the state level to make the governor, lieutenant governor, and the other elected officials statewide have to not have companies and outside interests and jobs outside that. They're making $90,000 to $100,000 a year. They run for office saying, I want to work hard for the people of North Dakota. Well, let's let them work hard for the people of North Dakota and have no other interests while they're there. It doesn't mean that they can't let their millions accumulate, but they just shouldn't